'Cause I'm blue, dabble dee dabble die, 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 dabble dee. Oh, where'd they go? How's it going, everyone? Deceptibot9 here, and thank you as always for joining me here on the channel for today's review, Masters of the Universe Origins, He Skeletor, the Mattel Creations exclusive. Now, before we get to the review, I'd like to ask, if you like what you see, go ahead, leave me a like. Plus, if you're new to the channel and you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit it right now while you've got the chance. It means a lot to me. Plus, if you want to find me anywhere else on the internet, you can find all of my social links in the description down below. And of course, if you are a new viewer, welcome to the channel. If you're a returning viewer, hey, it's good to see your face again. So, after much turmoil in me trying to get this damn package, I finally have my Mattel Creations He Skeletor. Now, believe it or not, I'm going to say this at the top, and I'm probably going to get a lot of flame for this. This has been my most anticipated Mattel Creations exclusive Origins figure thus far. Yes, even more than Grizzlord, because I love the Masters of the Multiverse comic that he came from. It really came at a good time for me getting into the Masters franchise, so it holds a special place in my heart. So I'm really excited to see this figure here today. Now, with all that said, let's go ahead and dive in to the review station and take a closer look at He Skeletor. Alright, and here is He Skeletor in all of his glory. And I gotta say, I mean, despite the fact that he is straight up just a He-Man repaint, I freaking love him. He looks so cool. I just really like him. And again, that could just be a personal bias from my attachment to the comic and the character overall. But yeah, I just really like the way he turned out. There are small gripes that are different from the comic design, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And I do, of course, before we actually get too deep into the figure, want to take a look at the packaging itself, because of course the Origins packaging is just absolutely tremendous all the time, and especially on these Creations exclusives where we get the full art on the back. Absolutely love when we do that. Of course, we get a little He Skeletor up here, we get most powerful Keldor in the universe, Master logo, and then the beautiful art here from Anti-Eternia. Just absolutely amazing. Always love the artwork here on the Origins figures. All right. Back to He Skeletor. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the details on this guy. Alright, first off, we will come up here to the head sculpt, which is now, at this point, the traditional Origins He-Man head sculpt, but of course, done in all blue with black eyebrows, black eyes. He's got little white teeth sticking out there, and his black sort of bowl cut hair that is sweeping out to the side. I think it looks great. Of course, though, one of the things that is missing about this design, and I really wish they had added, is he's got the sort of Mr. Fantastic stripes on his head in the comic book, which we will show right there. And I really wish they had added that, although should be an easy paint application ad for anybody looking to do that. I don't really do much to my figures, but it might be something that I invest in just because it's a really cool look, honestly, in my opinion, for He Skeletor. But coming down here, of course, it is just kind of a standard Origins He-Man body, just repainted. Of course, it's all in blue, but he's, of course, got muscles all over the arms and the chest and everything. And here is the chest harness, which looks really nice with the gold and the purple color scheme that it has, except for one small thing is that I do wish, this is the sort of traditional He-Man Iron Cross, although I wish that it, in the book, as shown here, it is a skull and crossbones, kind of typical Skeletor-y type design rather than the He-Man Iron Cross. So that is something I wish they had done instead, but oh well. Again, it still looks, it's got the color scheme and it looks nice, and my camera just hates focusing on him for some reason. Coming down here to the arms, of course, he's got the gold gauntlets there with the hands, of course, and the power sword, his power sword, which looks great. It's just done in all purple. And the shield over here is the typical He-Man shield with all the rivets and stuff, but in purple and gold. Coming down, typical loincloth here and the purple belt, nothing crazy. Blue legs with a lot of muscles, and down to the feet, he's got the little fur that is done in purple and the black straps, and just purple all the rest of the way down. So again, he is just a standard sort of He-Man Origins figure in a He-Man repaint, but I mean, in the book he is He-Man but colored blue with slight differences here and there. I just wish they had done those two slight differences to make him stand out a little bit from the rest of the He-Man crowd. And of course, As you can see, he has all of his accessories that you would expect a He-Man to come with. We looked at the power sword and, of course, the shield. But he's also coming with the purple axe as well, just in case you wanted to give him an axe to have there. And, of course, if you don't want the sword out, you can just swap it and slap it in there. And you can slap the axe here, there, whatever you want to do. I prefer my He Skeletor focus, damn it. I prefer my He Skeletor to have the sword just because it is an iconic moment from the comic book that he comes from. We're going to set the axe off to the side, and that's all the accessories it comes with. No alternate hands or anything. It's just really standard for He-Man. It's not a big deal. Oh, of course. There is one other accessory, technically, that he comes with. I didn't cover it during packaging, but he does come with, of course, a mini comic, like all other Origins figures do. Masters of the Universe on the back. Cover here at the front. Crisis at the Multi-Core is the title of this book, and it's got some really great artwork here on the front. And the interior story is pretty fun. I do actually really like it. There is the Keldor that we didn't get in the fan vote, and I'm still upset about. Yes, I am still very upset about that. But no, it's a fun little story. It's dealing with the multiverse and different He-Mans and Skeletors, all that fun stuff, just like the original book that this guy came from. So that being said, let's go ahead and hit articulation really quick. God, this focus on the blue man. Good Lord. Just gonna keep him back here, I guess. We'll cover articulation very, very fast. It is just very standard for Masters of the Universe Origins figures, especially He-Man, so if you know it, you'll see it. Ball joint here, double ball joint here on the head, so he can look all sorts of ways, go all sorts of crazy. Woo! Arms go all the way around. They go out that far. They swivel here at the elbow. Single jointed elbow that gets it only about 90, not really that much. Both of the wrists do have swivel and hinge on both sides there. Waist swivels all the way around as well. Legs go forward, not really that far, which is nothing new. Legs go back, not really far at all. Splits, oh, that's not terrible splits. That's getting pretty close, actually. Good job, Keldor. Bend at the knees, of course. Mine's a little tight. There it goes. Which gets it about 90, and of course he swivels at the knee there as well. Swivel here at the shin, thigh, or yeah, the shin, the calf area, and the feet go up, down, and they swivel all the way around. So just very, very standard, of course, for Origins, but what do you really expect? He's an Origins He-Man figure. You're not getting anything crazy out of this besides the fact that he looks slightly like Skeletor. So let's go ahead and take a look at a couple comparisons really quick, shall we? First, here he is with a couple other He-Mans. Here is just standard He-Man, who, of course, talks him into turning into He Skeletor in the comic book. If I remember correctly, it's been a few years since I've read it. And Anti-Eternia He-Man, who is the Skeletor, I guess, of the Anti-Eternia world. Because if you don't know, He Skeletor is from Anti-Eternia. He is the Keldor of Anti-Eternia, and he is trying to prevent Anti-Eternia He-Man from taking over all of the other universes and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And in order to do that and try to prevent himself from turning into a Skeletor, he gets the power sword and becomes He Skeletor, or just He-Man in the book. So these two are the rivals, and they honestly, oops, if he doesn't fall over, I like seeing them together. It looks really, really cool. And even though these two are just straight repaints of He-Man, they both probably end up being in the top of my favorites from the Origins line so far, just because I love the story, again, that they come from. And I just think Anti-Eternia He-Man looks really cool. He Skeletor ends up looking really cool as well. So there he is with other He-Men. Here he is with the other Skeletor. So, of course, just standard regular Skeletor and Origins Keldor, although this Keldor is technically based off the 2002 He-Man cartoon and not the Masters of the Multiverse Keldor, which, again, still mad that lost in the fan vote because he would have been a great figure. Hopefully they make him one day. Fingers crossed, especially after He Skeletor sold out on Creations. But yeah, you can see the whole little Skeletor gang. It's kind of cool to see like a regular version and then a full Skeletor and then a He-Man one. I don't know. There's something really cool about this image. And just to see, here is He Skeletor with Masterverse Skeletor from the 40th Anniversary 2-pack, just to see how he looks with the Masterverse figures. And gosh, I really hope they get to do some new Eternia stuff in Masterverse sometime soon. That would be really cool. I would love a version of this guy, the Keldor, Anti-Eternia He-Man, of course. It'd be so cool to get an Anti-Eternia subline. I would really, really dig that. Alright, and that's going to do it for my closer look at the Mattel Creations Origins He Skeletor figure. So let's go ahead and... I couldn't think of a good pun to go with He Skeletor. Let's go ahead and go back up to me for my final thoughts. Alright, so my final thoughts on He Skeletor here. Well, I absolutely love him. He is really, really solid overall. I mean, again, if you have at least one Origins He-Man, you know what you're getting into with this guy. And of course, he is unfortunately sold out on Creation, so if you didn't get him already, the best chance to get him is going to be the secondhand market. Again, I really like him because I love the storyline, and he's just a really solid, simple, easy figure. I wish they had done the white on the hair and they changed that to the crossbones, but otherwise, really, really solid, but also really, really standard. So I understand if you passed on this one, but I personally, I love him. I think he's great. Alright guys, that is going to do it for my full review of the Masters of the Universe Mattel Creations Origins He Skeletor figure. Go ahead and let me know down below what your thoughts on this figure were, and this review would have come out way sooner had my first one of this not been stolen, and then I had to talk to a bunch of people to try to get another one. Luckily, I got one from, I got my replacement from Mattel Creations, so thankfully, I got one. So thank you to Mattel Creations customer service for being able to hook me up. And damn you, whoever took my original one, and I would not have had to go through that whole mess. So guys, as always, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for sticking around to the very end. I really do truly appreciate it. And as always, I've been your host, Deceptibot9. Thank you, as always, for joining me, and I'll see you guys later in the multiverse.